it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today is part 3 of my October book outlet haul, so stay tuned. So if you've been keeping up with this whole October book outlet haul, I started with 12 boxes. I'm down to 6. So I'm going to open 3 more boxes for this video. So let's go. Got some paper and some paper and my receipt. I was all about the Christmassy books when I placed this order. Okay, so the first book in this box is The Dogs of Christmas by W. Bruce Cameron. I mean, how cute is that? So this is about a guy named Josh who one day his neighbor leaves his very pregnant dog at Josh's house and just abandons it. And so Josh cares for the dog named Lucy and gets help from a woman named Carrie who works at the animal shelter on how to care for Lucy and how to care for her puppies once they're born and kind of get them all set up for the Dogs of Christmas adoption event that the shelter's having to help find these puppies new homes. Throughout all this process, Josh ends up falling for Carrie, the lady that works at the shelter, and also for all the puppies, and he's not really sure he's gonna be up for giving them up for adoption because he's kind of fallen in love with them all. And I can so relate. That's why I have so many animals in my house. And this was $2.69. Okay, next up I have a trilogy. This is the Noctis Magicae series. We have The Midnight Queen by Sylvia Izzo Hunter, Lady of Magic, and A Season of Spells. And I'll just read you about the Midnight Queen here. And this says, in the hallowed halls of Oxford's Merlin College, the most talented and highest born sons of the Kingdom of Britain are taught the intricacies of magical theory. But what dazzles can also destroy, as Gray Marshall is about to discover. Gray's deep talent for magic has won him a place at Merlin College, but when he accompanies 4 fellow students on a mysterious midnight errand that ends in disaster and death, he is sent away in disgrace, and without a trace of his power. He must spend the summer under the watchful eye of his domineering professor, Appius Calendar, working in the gardens of Calendar's country estate and hoping to recover his abilities. And it is there, toiling away on a summer afternoon, that he meets the professor's daughter. Even though she has no talent of her own, Sophie Calendar longs to be educated in the lore of magic. Her father has kept her isolated at the estate and forbidden her interest. Everyone knows that teaching arcane magical theory to women is the height of impropriety. But against her father's wishes, Sophie has studied his ancient volumes on the subject. And in the tall, stammering, yet oddly charming Gray, she finally finds someone who encourages her interest and awakens new ideas and feelings. Sophie and Gray's meeting touches off a series of events that begin to unravel secrets about each of them. And after the king's closest advisor pays the professor a closed-door visit, they begin to wonder if what Gray witnessed in Oxford might have been more sinister than it seemed. They are determined to find out, no matter the cost. And it sounded really interesting to me. So, Midnight Queen was $4.79. Lady of Magic was $3.19. A Season of Spells was $4.79. Okay, so next up is Xmas, A Love-Hate Story by Kate Bryan. And how cute is that? So this is about a girl named Lila who's 17 and her parents have gone off on vacation and left her and her brother at home. And Lila is all set to throw this huge holiday bash when her brother Cooper realizes that global warming is melting the North Pole. So him and his best friend Tyler take off on a runaway mission to save Santa. And Lila is desperate to get her brother back before her parents get home on Christmas Eve. And the only other person that can help her is Bo, Tyler's older brother, who is also Lila's ex-boyfriend. And it is a love-hate kind of relationship they have going on there. And it's all about their adventures trying to get Cooper and Tyler back home before the parents arrive. And this was $3.19. Cool. I got a coupon. It was kind of hidden down there in it. $5 off when you spend $40 or more. Nifty. Okay, next we have a Christine Feehan Holiday Treasury. 3 captivating paranormal holiday novellas from the acclaimed author of Dark Celebration. It says now her magnificent novellas of dark forces and Christmas magic are brought together for the first time in a stunning hardcover edition. Each one will hold you in its thrall. Okay, so the first one's called After the Music. Terrified by mysterious threats, Jessica Fitzpatrick takes her twin wards to the island mansion of their estranged father, Dylan Wentworth, a famous musician who shut out the world after fire claimed his wife's life and left him disfigured. With Christmas approaching, the spark between Dylan and Jessica might light the future, but the evil machinations of those who share his late wife's love of the occult may plunge the family into darkness unless a Christmas miracle occurs. The next one is called The Twilight Before Christmas. Best-selling novelist Kate Drake, one of the 7 sisters with amazing powers of witchcraft, want to open a bookstore in a charming but run-down mill in her California hometown. Decorated former U.S. Army Ranger Matt Granite, now a contractor, doesn't mind helping and getting closer to Kate. But when an earthquake exposes a crypt in the mill's foundation, a centuries-old evil threatens to destroy both Christmas and the gift of soul-searing passion Kate's hometown hero wants her to keep forever. And the last story is called Rocky Mountain Miracle. When Cole Steele, a womanizer rumored to have killed his father, meets Maya Armstrong, a veterinarian rumored to practice magic, the sparks that fly could melt all the snow on his Wyoming ranch. And when an injured horse brings them together, Cole can't help but believe that Maya casts spells on animals and men. What else could explain the burning passion he feels for her and the thawing of his heart around the holidays? Mysterious and magical, like the holiday itself, these novellas reveal Christine Feehan to be a writer of extraordinary gifts. And this is $1.29. Okay, so like the Christine Feehan books, I actually have 3 more that are Christmas compilation books. So we have It Must Be Christmas by Jennifer Cruz, Donna Allward, and Mandy Baxter. And there are 3 holiday stories in here. They're called Hot Toy, Christmas at Seashell Cottage, and Christmas with the Billionaire Rancher. And I don't want to read about what it says for each individual thing on each book because that would just take way too long. So I'll just read you the titles of each of the stories. This was $2.69. Next is All Is Calm, All Is Bright, 2 Christmas novellas by Colleen Coble. And one of them is called All Is Calm and the other is called All Is Bright. And this was $2.19. And the last one like that is Mistletoe and Mr. Right, 2 stories of holiday romance by Lila Payne. And this was $2.19 as well. Okay, next up is Christmas Bliss by Mary Kay Andrews. And apparently this is the 4th book in the Wheezy and Bebe mystery series, which I didn't even realize. But the first book is called Savannah Blues, and the little overall synopsis of the whole series on Goodreads says Eloise Wheezy Foley a recently divorced antique dealer, and Bebe Loudermilk, a triple divorce restaurant owner in Savannah, Georgia. And from what I gather of this book is that it's about Wheezy getting ready to marry the love of her life around Christmas time. So that's what this is about. I've got to get the other books apparently. And this was $1.79. Okay, next up is The Gift of a Charm by Melissa Hill. And this is about a woman named Holly who many years ago received a gift anonymously of a charm bracelet with one single charm on it. And over the years, she's been sent more charms, and they usually come when she's having a hard time in life. And it's like somebody knows that she needs a pick-me-up. And as a result, Holly's charm bracelet is her most prized possession. And then one day, she finds somebody else's charm bracelet in an old coat pocket. And the only clues that she has to try to find this person are the charms on the charm bracelet. So she sets out on an adventure going all over New York City, following the clues from the charms, trying to find the person that it belongs to. But what she doesn't know is that the quest that she's on may lead her to meeting somebody she never would have expected to meet. And it sounded really cute. And this was $2.69. So that's all the Christmassy books in this box, but not all the books in this box. Okay, so the next book is The Realm of Possibility by David Leviathan or Levithan. And this says, one school, 20 voices, endless possibilities. There's the girl who's in love with Holden Caulfield, the boy who wants to be strong, who falls for the girl who's convinced she needs to be weak, the girl who writes love songs for a girl she can't have, the two boys teetering on the brink of their first anniversary, and everyone in between. As he did in the highly acclaimed Boy Meets Boy, David Leviathan gives us a world of unforgettable voices that readers will want to visit again and again. It's the realm of possibility open to us all, where love, joy, and the stories we tell will linger. And I love that it's a collada. And this was $3.19. Okay, next up is Unmarked, which is the second book in the Legion series by Cami Garcia. And the Legion series is about this group of kids who are part of this group called the Legion. And being a member of the Legion is something that's passed down from previous generations. They choose who will take their place in the Legion. And all of these kids, except for one, has been training to become part of the Legion. When all of a sudden, the original Legion, or the Legion that was before them, they all died on the same day. And then they had to go and find this other person that wasn't trained, that literally knew nothing at all about it. And essentially, they are like Ghostbusters. Like, they're having to hunt down these vengeance spirits and stuff. And it's good, spooky, ghosty kind of story. And this was $3.19. And then the last book in this box is Labor Day by Joyce Maynard. And this says, with the end of summer closing in and the steamy Labor Day weekend looming in the town of Holton Mills, New Hampshire, lonely, friendless 13-year-old Henry spends most of his time watching television, reading, and daydreaming, with only his emotionally fragile, long-divorced mother for company. But everything changes on the Thursday before the holiday weekend, when a mysterious bleeding man named Frank asks Henry for a hand. Over the next 5 days, Henry will learn some of life's most valuable lessons about the breathless pain of jealousy, the power of betrayal, and the importance of putting those we care about above ourselves, and that real love is worth waiting for. From the acclaimed author Joyce Maynard comes a beautiful, poignant tale of love, sex, adolescence, and devastating treachery as seen through the eyes of a young teenager and the man he later becomes. And this was $2.39. Okay, so the subtotal for these 14 books was $40.26, and I had one of those little $5 off coupons, so that brought me down to $35.26, and then I used $20 in rewards, so I paid $15.26 for these 14 books. Okay, now time for another big one. Okay, we got paper and my receipt. There's a lot of books in this box. Okay, so the first book in this box is The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. And this is the second book in the Mara Dyer series. And I don't have the first book yet. I'm working on collecting them. So I pulled it up on Goodreads here. And it says, Mara Dyer believes life can't get any stranger than waking up in a hospital with no memory of how she got there. It can. She believes there must be more to the accident she can't remember that killed her friends and left her strangely unharmed. There is. She doesn't believe that after everything she's been through, she can fall in love. She's wrong. And I've heard really good things about this series, so I wanted to check it out. And this is actually a scratch and dent one. It's kind of a messed up here. Got like a little squished on the corner and the spine tore. But this was $3.19. Okay, next up is Kiss Me Again by Rachel Vale. And apparently this is the sequel to If We Kiss, which I didn't realize that at the time. But that's about a girl named Charlotte, or as her friends call her, Charlie, who is falling for a guy that's completely off limits because her best friend is in love with him and her mother is dating his father. But she can't help but think, what if they kissed? And this is 89 cents. Okay, next up is Manhattan Night by Colin Harrison. And this says, Porter Wren is a Manhattan tabloid writer with an appetite for scandal. On the beat, he sells murder, tragedy, and anything that will pass for the truth. At home, he is a dedicated husband and father. But when a seductive stranger asks him to dig into the unsolved murder of her husband, he is drawn into a very nasty case of sexual obsession and blackmail, one that threatens his job, his marriage, and his life. Manhattan Night is a brilliantly drawn tableau of the gritty, gaudy city and a thrilling literary noir. Noir? And this is 89 cents. And next is A List of Things That Didn't Kill Me, a memoir by Jason Schmidt. And this says, how do you find your moral center in a world that doesn't seem to have one? Jason Schmidt wasn't surprised when he came home one day during his senior year of high school and found his father, Mark, crawling around on the kitchen floor in a giant pool of blood. Things like that had been happening a lot since Mark had been diagnosed with HIV 3 years earlier. From watching Mark get arrested in their living room when Jason was 3 years old, to enduring a series of house fires, homelessness, and a bout of flesh-eating staph infection, Jason had figured out a long time ago that his home life wasn't like most other people's. Jason had grown up calling those other people, the ones with normal lives, straights, and he envied them. But he also feared them. Jason's life with Mark and his friends was full of secrets about drugs, crime, and sex. If the straights ever found out any of those secrets, Jason's home could be torn apart. A List of Things That Didn't Kill Me is a funny, disturbing memoir full of brutal insights and unexpected wit. And this was 89 cents. Okay, next up is Janie Face to Face by Carolyn B. Cooney. And this is the 5th book in the Janie Johnson series, and I've currently read the first 2 books in the series, and I believe with this order as well as other orders I've placed, I should have all of them coming to me, because I thoroughly enjoyed the first one and I really enjoyed the second one as well. So the first one is called The Face on the Milk Carton, and it's about a girl named Janie who turns out her name isn't Janie Johnson, it's actually Jenny Spring. And she learns this because one day at lunch, she's drinking her friend's milk when she notices the missing child on the milk carton is her. And she's like blown away, thinking no, there's no way her parents were the kind of people that would kidnap people. Well, it turns out they weren't. Their daughter actually kidnapped Jenny and then brought her to her parents and made them think that this was their grandchild. They ended up raising her as she was their own child, even though they just believed that they were the grandparents. It's a big mix up, and it's actually based on a true story, which is even crazier. But this is the 5th book in that series, and I cannot wait to have them all and read them all. And this is $2.69. Okay, next we have All the Truth That's in Me by Julie Berry. And this says, 4 years ago, Judith and her best friend disappeared from their small town of Roswell Station. 2 years later, only Judith returned, permanently mutilated, reviled and ignored by those who were once her friends and family. Unable to speak, Judith lives like a ghost in her own home, silently pouring out her thoughts to the boy who's owned her heart as long as she can remember, even if he doesn't know it, her childhood friend Lucas. But when Roswell Station is attacked, long-buried secrets come to light, and Judith is forced to choose: continue to live in silence or recover her voice, even if it means changing her world and the lives around her forever. This startling original novel will shock and disturb you. It will fill you with Judith's passion and longing, and its mysteries will keep you feverishly turning the pages until the very last. And this was $4.29. Okay, so you're gonna see probably a change in outfit, probably a change in makeup, because, well, I've been filming these book outlet haul videos back to back, and I've been filming for many hours now. And it is currently after 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm tired, and I just don't think I can finish this tonight. So I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to pick it back up tomorrow and finish with this video. So yeah, you're gonna see it a whole new day in the same video. And then I still have to finish filming the last part too. But there's still lots of books left in this video, so stay tuned. I'll be right back to you. Okay, so it's a new day, and it's actually like 1:42 in the afternoon the next day. But I have gotten some sleep and I'm refreshed and ready to continue. So back to the books in this box. Okay, so the next book is Pretty Girl 13 by Liz Cooley, or Coley. And this is a psychological mystery about a girl named Angela. And to Angela, she's 13. But when she looks in the mirror, she sees somebody she doesn't even recognize. This pale, sickly, haunted-looking 16-year-old. And Angela can't remember anything about the past 3 years. She was lost to her family. She was lost to the authorities. She was even lost to herself. She doesn't know where she's been. She doesn't know who's been living her life and what's hiding behind this terrible blankness. So she embarks on this journey to the darkest corners of her mind to try to figure out what happened. And in the process, she discovers a terrifying secret. And this book was 89 cents. Okay, next we have The Death of Us by Alice Coopers. And this says, a rediscovered friendship, a long buried past, and a love triangle with a deadly angle. Callie is shocked when her friend Ivy reappears after an unexplained 3-year absence. But the girls pick up where they left off, and suddenly Callie's summer is full of parties, boys, and fun. Beneath the surface, however, things aren't as they seem, and when a handsome boy with a complicated past of his own gets tangled up with Ivy, the girls' friendship starts to turn toxic. What begins as sensitive exploration of the events leading up to a life-threatening accident accelerates into a series of dramatic revelations in this brisk and captivating new novel by award-winning author Alice Coopers. And this was 99 cents. Next we have Mortal Danger by Anne Aguirre. And in here it says, revenge is a dish best served cold. This says, Eddie Kramer has a score to settle with the beautiful people at Blackbriar Academy. Their cruelty drove her to the brink of despair, and 4 months ago she couldn't imagine being strong enough to face her senior year. But thanks to a Faustian compact with the enigmatic Kine, she now has the power to make the bullies pay. She's not supposed to think about Kine once the deal is done, but devastating pain burns behind his unearthly beauty, making him impossible to forget. In one short summer, her entire life changes, and she sweeps through Blackbriar, taking the elite crowd down from the inside. A whisper here, a look there, and suddenly bad things are happening. It's a head rush seeing her tormentors get what they deserve. But things that seem too good to be true usually are, and soon the pranks and payback turn from delicious to deadly. Eddie is alone in a world teeming with secrets and friends lurking in the shadows. In this murky morass of devil's bargains, she isn't sure who or what she can trust, not even her own mind. And this book was 89 cents. Okay, next up is Inland by Kat Rosenfield. And this is about a girl named Callie Morgan whose mother has drowned in the sea, and her and her father pick up and move away to the Midwest. And after 9 years, Callie is feeling this tug towards the river close to her house and even the sea that's miles and miles away. And she doesn't know if it's that she's going crazy or if there's actually something calling her there. Like maybe her mother. And it sounded really interesting. And this book was 89 cents. Okay, so next up we have the box set of book 1 and 2 of The School for Good and Evil. So we have The School for Good and Evil and A World Without Princes. And it's wrapped in this plastic. And then I also got book 3, which is The Last Ever After. And this one includes a deleted chapter from book 1. And a first look at the Ever Never Handbook. This one's big. This one's like as big as these two together almost. So I pulled up on Goodreads the first book because there isn't really an overall synopsis of the whole series. So let me just tell you about the first book. It says, the first kidnappings happened 200 years before. Some years it was 2 boys taken, some years 2 girls, sometimes one of each. But if at first the choices seemed random, soon the pattern became clear. One was always beautiful and good, the child every parent wanted as their own. The other was homely and odd, an outcast from birth. An opposing pair plucked from youth and spirited away. This year, best friends Sophie and Agatha are about to discover where all the lost children go, the fabled school for good and evil, where ordinary boys and girls are trained to be fairy tale heroes and villains. As the most beautiful girl in Gavaldon, Sophie has dreamed of being kidnapped into an enchanted world her whole life. With her pink dresses, glass slippers, and devotion to good deeds, she knows she'll earn top marks at the school for good and graduate a storybook princess. Meanwhile, Agatha, with her shapeless black frocks, wicked pet cat, and dislike of nearly everyone, seems a natural fit for the school for evil. But when the two girls are swept into the endless woods, they find their fortunes reversed. Sophie's dumped in the school for evil to take uglyification, death curses, and henchman training, while Agatha finds herself in the school for good, thrust among handsome princes and fair maidens for classes in princess etiquette and animal communication. But what if the mistake is actually the first clue to discovering who Sophie and Agatha really are? And these just sounded so stinking cute and fairy tale-ish, and they're also middle grade, so I think Xander will enjoy these as well. So the box set for The School of Good and Evil was $5.39 and book 3 was $3.19. Okay, next up we have The Many Lives of Johnstone by Linda Buckley Archer. So this says, "In me the past lives. Stella Park, Spark for short, has found summer work cataloging historical archives in Johnstone's remote and beautiful house in Suffolk, England. Spark's uncertainty about living at Stony House only increases upon arriving. What kind of people live in the 21st century without using electricity, telephone service, or even a washing machine? Additionally, the notebook she's organizing spans centuries. They begin in the court of Louis XIV in Versailles, but are written in the same hand. Something strange is going on, and Spark begins to wonder, who exactly is Johnstone? What connection does he have to these notebooks? And more importantly, what was his purpose in hiring her in the first place?" Linda Buckley Archer, critically acclaimed author of the Gideon trilogy, weaves a lyrical story of a group of people who have the unlikely gift of longevity. But is it truly a gift? And this was 89 cents. Okay, next up is Charisma by Jeanne Ryan. And this is about a girl named Aislinn who is super shy and just can't talk to anybody and is crushing on a boy, but she'll never be able to speak to him. And then she's offered this gene therapy drug called Charisma, which is guaranteed to make her shine and for her personality to really blossom and become that outgoing person that she wants to be. So she jumps all over it. But then she starts noticing afterwards that other people around her are changing as well. And it turns out that this therapy is contagious and it's beginning to turn deadly. So now Aislinn has to decide if she wants to reverse the therapy and lose her new personality or risk her life for a little bit of charisma. And this was 99 cents. Okay, next up is Code Orange by Carolyn B. Cooney. And well, I love her Janie Johnson series, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this as well. This says, "Walking around New York City is what Mitty Blake does best. He loves the city, and even after 9/11, he's always felt safe. Mitty is a carefree guy. He doesn't worry about terrorists or blackouts or school. He'd much rather watch the game or hang out than do research on infectious diseases just to get a good grade. Mitty does feel a little pressure to hand something in, so he considers it good luck when he finds some old medical books in his family's weekend house. But when he discovers an envelope containing 2 scabs in one of the books, the report is no longer about the grade. It's about life and death, his own. Varilo Major is a virus. It has no personality, no blood for circulating, no brain for thinking. It has one task, to take over the cells of other creatures and spread. It has the potential to kill everyone in New York City unless Mitty does the right thing." And it sounds really good. And also, it's a little short book. It's only 195 pages. And this was $1.09. Okay, next up is The House by Christina Lauren. And this doesn't actually tell you anything on the dust jacket, really what this book is about. And so I wanted to pull it up on Goodreads so I could tell you what it says. So this says, "Gavin tells Delilah he's hers, completely. But whatever lives inside that house with him disagrees. After 7 years tucked away at an East Coast boarding school, Delilah Blue returns to her small Kansas hometown to find that not much has changed. Her parents are still uptight and disinterested. Her bedroom is exactly the way she left it. And the outcast, Gavin Timothy, still looks like he's crawled out of one of her dark, twisted drawings. Delilah is instantly smitten. Gavin has always lived in the strange house, an odd building isolated in a stand of trees where the town gives in to mild wilderness. The house is an irresistible lure for Delilah, but the tall fence surrounding it exists for a good reason, and Gavin urges Delilah to be careful. Whatever lives with him there isn't human, and isn't afraid of hurting her to keep her away. And this was $1.29. Okay, next up is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. And this is about a girl named Eden who is a good kid and is good at being good and is excited to start high school and all of that stuff until the night that her brother's best friend rapes her. And her whole world kind of turns upside down at that point. And this is told in 4 different parts: her freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, and senior year. And this is about how this trauma has affected her and how she really deals with it. And this was $3.79. Okay, so next up is this duology that I guess it sounds really, really interesting to me, because I purchased it not even realizing that I had already purchased this before, and it was on my shelf. So it has to sound really good because I bought it twice. Both books. And that is Scan and Burn by Walter Jury and Sarah Fine. Now granted, I have the hardcover of Burn on my shelf, and I have the paperback of Scan on my shelf, and this one's a hardback. Though the paperback matches the hardcover for Burn, because it looks like they changed this one. I don't know what I'll keep. I'll probably keep a set and either give away another set or unhaul another set. But anyway, this says, Tate and his father don't exactly get along. Tate thinks his father has unreasonably high expectations for him to be the best at everything, all for the sake of some mysterious family responsibility. But Tate finally learns what his dad has been preparing him for when he steals one of his dad's odd tech inventions, and mercenaries ambush his school, killing his father and sending Tate on the run from aliens who look just like humans. All Tate knows, like how to make weapons out of oranges and lighter fluid, may not be enough to save him as he's plunged into a secret interspecies conflict that's been going on for centuries. Aided only by his girlfriend and his estranged mother, with powerful enemies closing in on all sides, Tate races to puzzle out the secrets behind his father's invention and why so many are willing to kill for it. A riveting, fast-paced, and clever we are not alone adventure, Scan also has muscle and heart. And it sounded really interesting, so much so that I bought it twice. So Scan is the first book, Burn is the second book. Scan was $4.29 and Burn was 99 cents. So next up is Magnolia by Christy Cook. And this is about 2 families in Magnolia Branch, Mississippi. The Caffertys and the Marsden families. And they are like Southern royalty. They do everything together. They go on holidays, they have barbecues, and just everything they try to do together. And for years they have just really wanted to find a way to unite their 2 families. And then the stars align and one family has a baby boy and the other family has a baby girl at around the same time, and they're like, it's perfect, it's meant to be. And so these 2 kids, their whole lives are spent kind of pushed together. The only problem is they hate each other. But when a violent Mississippi storm comes through, they're kind of thrown together and true feelings come out. And that's what this is about. and it sounded cute. And this was 79 cents. So the cost of all these books in this box was $39.20, and I had one of these little coupons here to get $4 off. So my total was $35.20, and I didn't have any rewards to use for this. So I paid $35.20 for these 21 books. Still not bad, even though I didn't have rewards. That's a lot of books for $35. Okay, now for the last box for this part of the haul. We'll do this box. Paper. 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 My receipt. Okay, so the first book in this box is The Candy Shop War by Brandon Muehl, or Muehl. And this is about this group of kids that go into this candy shop owned by Miss White, and her candies are delicious and they have very interesting side effects. They give you superpowers, and she wants them to use these magical candies to help her find this treasure. But Mr. Stott, the ice cream truck driver, wants to put a stop to Miss White. And this just sounded super, super cute. And I think this is the first book in a series as well, but it sounds like so much fun. And this was $4.29. Okay, next we have Days of Blood and Starlight by Leonie Taylor, and this is the second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. And if you want to know more about this series, you can check out my September book haul, because I just hauled the first book in this series in that video, so you can check that out. But this is the second book, and this was $3.79. Next up we have Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell, and this is like a spooky Peter Pan type retelling where these kids are stolen and taken to Neverland, and it's nothing at all like the stories. And I love fairy tale retelling, so of course I'm gonna get this. And this was $8.99. Okay, next I got this box set plus another book that goes along with the series of 5 Kingdoms by Brandon Muehl. So in here we have the first 3 books, and then I also purchased the 4th book as well. So we have Sky Raiders, Rogue Knight, Crystal Keepers, and Death Weavers. So I'll just read you what it says on the box here. Cole Randolph never meant to come to the outskirts, but he had to try to save his friends. Now he's trapped in a world that lies between wakefulness and dreaming, reality and imagination, life and death. Cole's hunt for his lost friends leads him through increasingly dangerous kingdoms, from a port where strange castles float on clouds, to a countryside where a mysterious enemy is wiping out entire towns, to a place of magnetic highways and robotic bounty hunters. It's up to Cole and an unusual girl named Mira to rescue his friends and set things right in the outskirts. Can Cole find his way back home before his existence is forgotten? And every single one of Brandon Muehl's books all rate over 4 stars on Goodreads. So I got a lot of them because I think these are books that Xander would really enjoy. After reading the synopsises of so many of them, I just think that he's going to enjoy them a lot. I don't think he's going to enjoy the aspect of they're really big books because he likes smaller books, but I think he's going to like the story. Like, this one is 502 pages. But I still think he's going to really enjoy it. So, the 4th book here was $3.79. And the box set of the first 3 books was $10.69. Next we have Daughter of the Siren Queen by Trisha Levenseller. And this is the second book in the Daughter of the Pirate King series, which is about a girl named Alosa, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And well, she is the daughter of a pirate king. And she is a 17-year-old pirate captain, and she's on a mission to retrieve this ancient hidden map. And well, this is the second book in that series. And I mean, there's mermaids in this one, so I'm excited. I don't have the first book yet, but I still need to get it. This one was $5.89. Okay, and then the last book in this box is The Candy Makers by Wendy Mass. And well, the candy shop war made me think of this, and well, made me find this too. This is about these 12-year-old kids who are in this national candy making competition to see who can make the best new candy. And the story sounded really cute, and this was only $2.69. Okay, so the subtotal for these 9 books was $40.13. I had a $4 off coupon, which brought me down to $36.13. And then I used $20 in rewards and got them for $16.13. So not too bad. Alright guys, well that's all the books in this part of the haul. So stay tuned for part 4, where I unbox the last 3 boxes of this book outlet haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you.